which I doubt it. We
Depends on
might
what.
level at least.
I'd say
Hmm?
by the end of my arc, you probably will not have the 30. If David chooses to do his arc, you probably will.
Okay. Uh, we'll probably level at least 3 times, 3 more times, correct?
I'm guessing 2, but it could be 3.
Okay. At this point, then, I might as well, I guess, just put the rest in the cleric so I can get more mana. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Alright. There's nothing for me to. I guess I'll say, I got what I want out of Gunslinger here. I'll say, being able to shoot 3. Yeah, I won't be able to hit level 11 in Gunslinger unless we level 4 more times. So yeah, I guess cleric the rest of the way.
Up to you.
Well, and I'll say, well, there's nothing. I'll say the next thing that I learned in Gunslinger is at level 11. I'm currently 7, so I'm like, I don't think we're gonna level 4 more times.
Again, I think you will if David does his arc.
Yeah, I'll say it's either. I'll say at this point it's either dump. I'll say dump more into cleric. I'll say dump more into cleric, get more mana, or spend 4 levels in fighter to get a third extra attack. And that's pretty much the only thing left in fighter. I'll say because I'm looking at Indomitable, and technically I can do that already with like a low level magic spell or a card. And I feel that having magic is going to be more useful. I'll say having stores of magic is going to be more useful.
Okay, well, in that case, raising cleric. For the record, you can check this yourself. It's in the Google Drive, but I can tell you, you cleric level 21st.
I'll say, is there anything for cleric at 21?
Yeah, again, I've got cleric all the way up to 30.
Okay, let's see. It says in the Google.
It's in the Google Drive. I can tell you right now, looking at it, since I've got it open, you will gain 1 cantrip. You will gain an ability score improvement / feat, your choice.
Okay.
So the normal +2 stat points or a feat. You gain a cantrip, and you gain something called Armor of Life, which is whenever you receive healing, you gain the same amount of hit points as temporary hit points up to a maximum of half your cleric level.
Huh. So 10.
But yeah, it should be in the your cleric level is only 10.
No, half.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah. But yeah, it should be in the Google Drive. I think it's under supplements.
Oh, okay.
It should be called Epic Characters. If it's not in the Google Drive, I can add it to the Google Drive.
It should be. Just need to find the.
It's been a while since I had to deal with that, so I'm not.
Well, considering that David, I believe, is the only epic level. I'm not saying the only person using the epic level chart at the moment. I think. I think he's the only person who has a class over 20.
Probably because I think everyone else was multi-classed.
I'd say everybody else multi. Yeah, epic level characters. It's under supplements.
Just need to find the folder.
Okay. I've given him the cursory 15 minutes. So, do people remember the rules changes we are experimenting with tonight?
If I remember correctly, it's 3d6.
3d6, using stunt points now.
Okay.
Proficiency
that
die
in
is
the-
proficiency die is
thing?
staying. So we will have, and we roll armor class at the beginning of the round as opposed to versus every attack, as we are going back to traditional saving throws and to hit rolls.
Okay.
We also have the expanded criticals based on your passive investigation.
Just to be straight up, I may need to be reminded occasionally.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to remind people. I'm just making sure going in, if people remember this is what we are doing tonight. We are starting this tonight, and experimenting with it a couple weeks just to see, mostly see how Eric likes it, because the rest of you are used to it and are fine with it. Need to look at my calendar.
This is really an odd dice combination.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's see. No, I'm not in GM mode. I was going to port over the stunt points stuff. Derp.
Where is my fucking calendar? Do I get them? Okay. Cool. Save. Fix calendar sheet. There we go. Okay, so this will be the first of Hammer.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like Barbarian. Epic Barbarian is fucking like ridiculous.
Yep. Okay.
Like it's like Epic Barbarian. What do you want to do? Win? Okay. How much damage do you do? How many hit points do they have? 500. That's how much damage I do.
Fuck you. That's how much damage I do.
Yes.
I'll say this thing's like, oh hey, yeah. I was like, at this level, get five extra damage dice. Oh hey, if someone hits you and you're almost dead, you automatically crit. Or if you die, you come back to life and crit on your next attack.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So I'm about to say, so it's basically like death save. Make a death save. If you make it, you come back at 1, and then you get to automatically take an attack immediately against whoever the fuck hits you, and automatically crit, and automatically do fucking 10d12 worth of damage. It's almost in your best almost in your best method to just like banish the fucking or plane shift them or something.
Okay. So, starting off, since people are doing that. Reminder that level ups do not take effect until the next session if you do not get them done beforehand.
Yeah, there's nothing for me to. Yeah. I'll say the only thing I got
is that you should have gotten a cantrip, a feat, or a stat bump.
Wait, I thought you said I did. I thought you said I can only have cantrips equal. I can have cantrips equal to my wisdom modifier.
No, it's cantrips. You have cantrips is based on class level.
Yeah, I said I could only have 5.
Yes, epic cleric gets a 6-1.
Yeah, but I'm not epic. I'm still level 17.
Okay, well.
And there's some confusion because there was an implication.
Yeah, you were talking like you were higher than that.
Oh no! I was asking. Well, I was asking because I was trying to figure out how many more levels we have left in this game, so I can figure out where to put whatever the remaining levels are too.
Yes, cleric does go above 20. If you go above 20, you will get a 6th cantrip.
Yeah, and I'll say I only have 5.
Okay. I thought you were actually exceeding 20 on your cleric. Okay, that is my confusion.
No.
Okay.
No, that's my fault. And you said we could. You said we could trade one of them out, correct?
When you level up, you can swap a cantrip for another cleric cantrip.
Okay, I have to do that next time then. Let's say because I did want to get rid of one of these.
Okay.
All right.
It has been roughly a little over a 10-day or a week, whatever you want to call it, since the conclusion of the previous adventure. You guys have been laying low for the most part under the direction of the guard captain. The Inquisitors are continuing to operate as a secret police and terror troopers within the city, throwing about their weight as effectively a replacement for law enforcement. Anyone who complains too loudly about this or does anything to try to buck the status quo has vanished into the night. They also seem to be rounding up espers and spellcasters, as they are deemed potential dangers to the peace. The city gates are being watched closely, so moving about freely, to and fro, either through the gates or the waterfront, is highly scrutinized.
God, he's a dick.
Despite this, however, the city is roughly settled into the new status quo and is operating as close to normal as one could expect under the circumstances. Patrols are frequent, and stop and frisk is something that is very common. Patrols, they are making it their business to know your business whenever they see you. Anyone who resists is made a bloody example of, either in order to discourage open defiance. Some are lethal, some not so much. All swords and firearms that are found are being confiscated. Swords themselves have been explicitly made illegal. Firearm collection is a little bit more haphazard and incidental, so seemingly more to preclude resistance. They're not searching for, not searching as hard as they could be for those. So things like pistols and small arms are a lot easier to slip past than larger weapons.
Okay.
You've provided that you remain relatively cautious and aware of your surroundings. You are able to move about the city as needed, so long as you make sure not to draw attention to yourself. Had a few close calls here and there, but you guys are more than skilled enough to. You've demonstrated you're more than skilled enough to get out of any issues you may have had to deal with. There's been grumblings and mutterings among the watch that you've noticed. The City Watch proper does not seem to be particularly pleased with the new status quo. They're going along with it because they have to, but they are not happy. And you've actually noticed in a few instances that they are more than happy to look the other way if they happen to see, quote, seditious activity taking place.
Okay, that's good.
You are seeing a lot of, for want of a better term, because it's not 100% accurate, but it's the closest, human supremacist types seem to be ending up in the offices of power. Those, very vocally loyal to the God King and what he stood for back in the day. So again, they're not all human, but it is, a supremacist type of sorts. Power grubbers might be a better way of putting it.
Okay.
That's a power for power's sake, not necessarily caring about how they got there. It has been a few days since you've seen Father Dumas. He went into hiding right at the same time you guys did, but insisted on hiding on his own. He insisted on splitting up to a certain degree to decrease the odds of finding you guys all at once.
Okay.
He said he had a good friend in the city that he could shack up with. But it's been a few days since you've seen him. You will have received word that he is staying with a friend, a haberdasher. He is staying at Captain Kurgan's Goods and Wares, owned by a one Phineas Kurgan.
Okay.
Is there anything you would like to do with the 11 days of downtime?
Let's see. Is there any means I wish to get my hands on some, so what's the best way to put it? Get my hands on some, I guess kind of peruse the area, see if I can get my hands on some materials to make some of the, to see if I can craft some rubber bullets with my kit.
Okay. Take a look under crafting. You've got the time, certainly. Let's see. Did I ever find that thing that was talking about non-lethal ammunition? It's under supplements. I thought that would be one. Trick arrows, not
I have now added the Stunt Points handout to this game.
It was already in the game.
Oh, it was? I
Yeah.
didn't notice it.
I got it open.
Oh, well, I didn't notice it. So I...
It was under house rules. Where'd you stick it?
I thought there was a handouts folder that had skill descriptions and stuff next to it.
I mean, your cheap reference?
No, under handouts.
I got maps.
Conditions, exhaustions. No, it says 7 points and skill descriptions.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that. Yeah, it's under house rules.
So, okay. Trying to be helpful.
Gotta find. Mercer's munitions. Those are grenades. That's artillery. That's magic. No, it's not Mercer's munitions. Attachments. Why are you so slow? That's actual modifications. Wasn't in the Iron Kingdom's book, was it?
See, you said 10 days?
11.
11 days. Okay. Okay. I'll be working on the same magic item for a time I've been working on for now the past 92 days.
No!
What?
It clicked out of the book.
Oh, okay, it looks like I'm really close then. Because I have like an or notation here.
It's not that one either. Okay, I got one more place I can look, and after that I'm just going to pull something out of my ass. No, technically two places I can look. Loading, loading, loading. Isn't this exciting, folks, as the GM flips through a bunch of books randomly? Advanced weapons. Each 12. Here's ammunition. Those are just normal bullets, so that's not it either. Alright, the last resource, and then fuck it. Light round, heavy round. Okay. Well, yeah, have to do it like that. Okay. Okay, so divide that by that. Do you know how many work weeks it would take? Okay. Roll. We learned to type. Okay, so you are able to make 25 rounds in the allotted time period.
Awesome.
And you will need to expend 5 gold worth of materials.
Okay. Right. Oh. Go. So. So you said, give me 25?
Yep. These will change your damage type to bludgeoning and make them non-lethal.
Okay. Cool. 25 rubber bullets.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you. Got to keep a low profile, but hmm.
Oh.
They're definitely going to be looking for cats. So
where are you guys trying to hold up? It will be advised to stay away from the cathedral, obviously.
Okay.
As a given who you broke out, that would be one of the first places they'd look.
No, here I thought they'd be like sanctuary or something.
There is no sanctuary under the God King.
Mwahaha.
You know, I miss our God King. Why can't we put him back in power? I like Kodo for God King.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Let's see.
In terms of places we could stay, I mean, we can't Magnificent Mansion it, the entire time. I wouldn't think.
As long as you keep recasting it, you can.
That's 24 hours? I think so.
I think it's 8.
Magnificent. Duration 20.
Are they?
24 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could, if you don't mind casting it, at the start of every day, you can totally just hole up in there the whole time.
Do they? Are they checking like people's houses? Are they just randomly breaking into people's houses, like doing searches, or like?
It is happening occasionally, but they seem to be limiting that to at least some semblance of cause, even if the cause is total bullshit. They're not just randomly kicking in doors.
Okay.
Oh, something I do want to note. I do have a note here saying I have a dimension room full of Citadel survivors. Should we assume that they've been
Released, yeah.
released? Okay.
The captain would have helped you scatter them safely.
Okay. But yeah, I don't mind Mordenkainen's
Okay.
Magnificent Mansion. Now, as I understand it, we need a set door.
You will need to
For
put the door
that-
somewhere. So yes, where do you want to set the door? The door is invisible to anybody except those you've permitted. So.
Yeah. Let's see, they're busting places down. What do you guys think of the port area? Oh, I guess we're a bit too gaudy for the port area.
Just a bit.
I mean, we don't have to be gaudy.
Hell, if you're feeling ballsy, you could put the invisible door in the cathedral.
No, that tavern near the port would be too odd. Because port would have people coming in and out all the time.
Mm.
What about the cemetery where we did our first batch of clue finding?
You want to hide out in the cemetery? That's cool.
Yeah, what do you think, Tibbs?
I mean, technically, yeah. I don't think they'll be looking for us in the cemetery.
And as I understand it, the cemetery, before everything anyway, you're not going to have a lot of people staring at a cemetery for 24-hour surveillance.
It is very unlikely, yes.
Yeah. Cool. So sounds like that is it.
All right. In that case, you will pop out of the mansion on the morning of the 11th day, as you've had to do every morning before Kodo recasts it. Because you can't recast it, re-up it while you're inside. You have to step out.
Yeah.
As you pop out, you will see a large pillar of smoke rising from within the city.
Is it a pillar of evil smoke? Sorry. Okay.
This pillar is coming from the eastern side of town. You're not entirely sure of more of that without some sort of check. I will accept either investigation or survival to determine its location.
I'll try for investigation.
You said investigation or what now?
Or survival.
I'm better with the survival, so I think I will probably next time. Yeah, my investigation is balls. I'll go for survival. And we don't have a proficiency die anymore, correct?
No, you still have proficiency die. I just changed it to the D20 to 3D6.
Okay.
We're taking a hybrid approach, motherfucker.
Huh, okay. Well, we are better than Sunday's crew, so that does make sense.
So you just so you know, my notation is the first three are the D6, then proficiency die, and then stat modifier. Okay,
so it'll be a 5 plus 5 plus 6, and then the 4 is your stat, and 2 is your proficiency die.
No, the 4 is my proficiency die, and the 2 is my stat. I can flip those if you prefer.
No, I was just confirming.
Yeah. Okay. Given this is a exploratory thing, I suppose I could tell the system to roll 3d6.
Remember, proficiency die technically is also still be rolled in.
Oh, sorry, I manually rolled that one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to spend 3 for a. That makes me wonder if applicable.
Go for it.
Okay. Oh, the chord I roll has already been shifted to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, I will click on my skill roll this time and see what happens. Okay. 18 for the follow-up.
Okay. Alright, so I see 18, 20, okay. Both of you are able to deduce that the smoke in question is coming from the vicinity of the cathedral.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
Um,
I'm starting to like this. I'm starting to like this God King title less and less.
yeah. Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Um, Personally, I like to try to figure out how the fuck to I'll say um Tibbs is going to um let's say here must say Mila like, well, the church is on fire. I feel that we should
Judging by the smoke, it was on fire. The signs of a fire that has since been put out, probably burned overnight.
Do we know if anyone was staying in the church?
Some of the acolytes were potentially still there.
Oh, okay. Then I'll say we should probably go check on them and make sure they're okay.
Okay. And there needed to be a reason for that. They wouldn't just attack something like that at random.
I don't know. God Kings appeared mostly. Apparently, they don't build God Kings like they used to.
True.
Whoever this guy is who took over is obviously deciding, that he doesn't appreciate religion.
All right. If there's any inquisitors there, we're going to need to be rather careful.
Sure. I guess we'll deal with them as they come along.
Okay. In addition,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pet Tibbs, casting non-detection on him.
Okay.
Just to prevent that trick, the thing from last time. So what was it they'd be looking for you?
They'll probably they're definitely going to be looking for us. Wouldn't be surprised if they actually said it just to lure us out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go and investigate this. And as I say that, I am wanting to confirm something right quick. Why does it have a long ass description? I still find it odd that the idea of aquatic adaptation is that you can do aquatic adaptation. Oh, by the way, you can also use it to limitedly shapeshift. Okay. Okay, I'd like to use... Oh, you can make natural weapons with this. I did not realize that. This is a versatile second level spell. Holy crap. Okay, okay. Sorry, I did well. I'll shapeshift into Kid Kodo. That should be less recognizable and easier for us to get out of trouble if we're found.
Okay.
Now it says I can't change from medium to small. However, I would argue a kid could fall into the lower side of medium.
Yeah, you can be on the shorter side of medium. I'll allow that.
Okay. I might have to keep that spell in mind for like other things. Damn.
Yeah, it's incredibly versatile. Alright, Tibbs, what are you doing to try and keep a low profile?
Fantastic question. They're looking for a cat. Pretty sure. You know that for a fact. And it kicked me out of roll 20 apparently. 1 second. But it didn't just kick me out of roll 20, it just completely shut down Firefox.
I could turn you into a Nekomata.
Not sure that actually.
It was like, that'll be fine. What are you posing as?
I'm a kid. I'm Kid Kodo. Oh! I could turn you into like a bobbit. Completely different from a cat.
Technically, you're not wrong.
Bluetooth's mind. These are what hands are like. Or, we could just dye your fur.
I'm pretty sure they've probably gone around here like killing all cats.
Oh, well then, okay, the halfling idea it is then.
I suppose so.
No, it's not going to creep you out?
The lower to the ground that I am, the more comfortable I'll feel. So, halfling gnome. But then again, they do seem to be, kind of pissy towards anyone who isn't human. So, probably being a child will probably help a little easier. Will probably be a little better.
I guess I can make you a human.
And how, pray tell, do you make him human?
Polymorph. Right? Yeah, I can use polymorph like that?
Normal polymorph only can be beasts.
Oh,
I believe you need true for that.
Okay.
no,
cool.
I can do it. I just need to look up what the cost is.
I double check to make sure true can do that. I think it can.
I mean, if you can't do it, I have something I can use.
Into a different creature. You can transform the creature into a different creature, the creature into a non-magical object, or the object into a creature. Unwilling subject makes a wisdom save. And you said regular polymorph doesn't let you...
I want to say regular polymorph is limited to just beasts.
Let's see.
To new form...
Polymorph, let's see, transform the creature.
The new form can be any
form.
beast, yeah, is what regular... but true...
I believe true just, like, actually gives you its stats.
Yeah, creature into a different creature.
Yeah, so true polymorph would allow you to become another thing.
Okay. I'll use true polymorph then. For mana. I use mana.
All the mana.
Yep.
You guys have more mana than all of us. So.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Pretty sure he'd have to use half of his mana before he even got anywhere near mine.
Well, that's what happens when you full class versus multi-class, right? Alright.
No complaints, he's the God King. Makes sense.
Takes a little bit, probably about an hour, via checkpoint, because of checkpoints and everything, to make your way into the city. By the time you reach the cathedral, it is, or what is left of it, is nothing but a blackened husk. Hundreds of former patrons and rubberneckers have gathered around outside. Some angry, others weep openly. A declaration has been posted on a nearby lamppost from Mayor Borlock, denouncing a group of rogue sorcerers for the attack, and vowing that their brave men are even now trying to smoke these rats out of their holes. And we shall step up our efforts to control the menace by any means necessary.
Political games, huh? Or propagandist games.
Amongst the crowd, you can hear muttering by those who have been influenced by this obvious propaganda. Some believing, some not believing, some spinning ever wilder conspiracy theories.
Are there any particular images with this proclamation?
Just, it's, just a basic decree type.
Okay.
This is what happened, this is what we're doing about it. Crime scene tape type scenario.
Okay. Are there any criers saying about anything different?
No, but only because they don't use criers, they use newspapers.
Oh, he's like 2,000 years old. He's way back when.
Well, yeah, I'm just, you don't have to roll for that. The character has been here long enough to know that they use newspapers now.
Okay. Word of mouth is dead. We're going to print.
And that said, your passive perception is... Come on, passive perception. Your passive perception is definitely high enough to hear several young individuals on the various street corners nearby, shouting out the headline about, church has burned down, extra, extra, read all about it, governor's vowed to step up protections on the city.
Okay.
Yeah, Mayor Borlock has vowed to step up protections. will not rest. Extra, extra.
And this is behind barricade and crime scene tape in terms of the cathedral itself.
There's a few members of the city watch, like on the perimeter, making sure nobody gets too close. Areas roped off. You can see some members of the watch, one member of the Inquisition, and a couple of people that, judging from their armbands, are probably tied to the city fire brigade.
Okay, not the Night Watch though.
No.
Okay.
You can see what looks like a down on the other side of the church. You can kind of make out the top end of probably a steamboat that was probably pumping water from the river in to try and put out the fire.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I'll lean over to my fellow kid type individual. See those guys making sure people don't get too close.
Okay.
Let's get too close. And what I would like to do, since I presume we're in a somewhat open area, is there like a nearby alley or a nearby bundle of trees or anything like that?
Trying to remember the battle map. Yeah, there were some trees in the area.
Okay. And
certainly some alleys you can duck into.
I'd like to pull Kid Tibbs into one of those areas of obfuscation, and can I use Dimension Door while obscured to take the two of us into, since we've been in the cathedral before? Is there enough distance for me to? There's a bridge, isn't there?
Yes, there was a bridge you would have had to cross to get there, and the partitioning would be on the wrong side of the bridge.
Okay.
And as I recall, that bridge was more than 500 feet.
Yeah. I was thinking about just popping in. Okay. Kalina's. I believe. Right. Kalina's circle might still be in effect.
I'm checking to see, if it would have been destroyed by the fire.
Disintegrate building spell. Is that called glassing beam?
It's pretty much.
You would know that, given that you were dealing with a wood floor, the circle is probably damaged to the point where you probably could not use it.
Okay.
That said, you are certainly familiar enough with that room and the circle that the remains of the circle probably could be used as an, quote, associated object to teleport, to do a traditional teleport.
Okay, so 0 to 100. Okay.
I would put you...
If I'm reading that right.
I would put this into the very familiar category for you.
Okay. Let me look at a proper chart. Very familiar.
Especially given the what you went through to reconstruct the circle and examine her room and everything.
Okay.
Technically, it's probably more of a scene casually, but I will give you, given the teleportation circle existing there, formally existing there, to give you something to quote lock onto. I will treat it as very familiar for the percentile.
Okay.
If you want to do a portal. Or portal/teleport.
I'll do a teleport, since what I'm wanting to do is they say it's a fire, I want to actually investigate the kind of damage.
Yeah. Are people willing to go with him? As teleportation is based on willingness?
Really don't want to leave him alone, so technically yes.
Okay. The party will bamf then. Assuming he doesn't fuck this up.
I rolled a 42.
That is well within the safe range. You are able to reappear in the remains of her chamber.
There'll be a sigh. Whew, it worked. I mean, yes.
This will be on the remains of the second floor. I need everybody who is landing on their own 2 feet to make me a dexterity save to balance precariously on the rickety-ass, burnt-ass floorboards.
Oh,
That's a
damn!
good question.
I was just saying, Dex is in my bag. Never mind. Oh wait, is Kenshi enacting any kind of disguise?
He's been he's relying on the cloak of anonymity and
I was thinking
and
Black
blending.
Cat, but
Yeah, he's not black catting it right now.
okay.
So,
Oh,
Dex save, yeah.
can I? 1 second. Okay. I presume that after I polymorphed Tibbs, that I can use the creation spell to make clothes. I don't think polymorph comes with that.
It does not, no.
Okay, I use creation to make you clothes then.
I mean, I have clothes in my bag.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, must say they're robes, but I can just like turn them inside out and just kind of,
Okay.
twist them into something else.
Okay, well that's fine. I just like, oh, you're a cat.
I must say,
just be carrying clothes with you.
I don't just have like clothes in case I became a human. I do have like robes and garments and stuff.
Oh,
but I
for
was
the
like,
needy.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. That's less mana on me and more modesty for you.
Okay, everybody lands, there's some creaking, and you guys have to quickly adjust your balance, but the floor holds your weight.
So, technically, I could walk around naked. That's what Tibbs been doing this entire time.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what that is, but that might not be good.
So if it doesn't generate stunt points.
Oh, it totally generates stunt points.
Oh shit, is there an assassin? Oh shit, is it Kalina?
Nah.
But
There's
she's
always
dead.
an assassin.
Wait, did she die and come back as Kalina the Black? And now she's an assassin?
You hear a shout from below. Building shifting!
We're not that heavy.
Get back! Well, that's the point. The point is, there, as far as they're concerned, there was no weight up there, and suddenly there was a of the wood having weight on it.
No. Like I was thinking like the entire foundation was shifting when they said that. I was like, we're not that heavy to shift the entire foundation of a building.
No, you're not shifting the foundation. You have shifted the material in the room you're in, which is creating the sound of stone shifting.
No, I get that. He's making a joke.
Yeah. I need anybody who is, I need everybody to make stealth checks just to, duck down enough to not potentially be spotted as people are moving out from under the room you appeared in.
Question: as we are on the upper floor, do we get advantage?
Yes.
So stealth?
Stealth, yes. And you are rolling at advantage.
Okay. These are skill checks, so you can't generate stunt points, correct?
Technically, you can generate exploration stunts here. I will give you those.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I generated points. I think.
Okay.
Maybe. Let me check.
I did.
With the advantage, yes. You said exploration?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Pick the one key that won't actually fit there.
What?
So here, pick the one key that the hole's too small to fit inside. So most of it fit in there. So.
Oh, what, you get a new key?
No. I took Sarah's apartment keys off, so I can fit them all inside the who's he was.
Okay. I'd like to use the upper hand, and that makes me wonder. Could I use that makes me wonder for a perception check to get information about like the people on the lower floor in the area? With that makes me wonder.
When you say information, you're just like spotting, or are you trying to actually get like detailed?
Detailed only in so much as, are they workers? Are there anyone in armor down there? You know.
Okay, so that would be perception, not investigation.
Yeah.
You can make a perception check for that.
Okay. Nice perception.
Okay. Everybody succeeds their stealth checks, or at least seems to, from what you can tell. Nobody's looking up and shouting at you.
You said we're on beams, correct?
You are on a damaged and burned out wooden floor on what had been the second level.
Okay. Can I use object of your attention on the floors to help us, navigate the floor so that we don't fall through it?
I will treat that as an investigation check to deduce that kind of thing.
Okay.
If you are proficient in woodworking or carpentry, you can roll advantage.
No.
Okay.
Right.
You made your stealth roll, now make your move silent roll. Make your look and listen checks.
Okay. Any checks that will be made involving movement while you are up here will be made at advantage thanks to Tibbs' deductive powers.
Cool.
Okay, in terms of what you were looking for, David, you will see, again, some Inquisitors, a lot of basic patrolmen, and, again, fire guard types.
Okay.
Looks like one or two acolytes talking with, one of the watchmen.
As opposed to the Inquisitors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Judging from body language and everything, if you had hazard to guess, they're probably just, giving a basic account of what they're aware of happening.
Do I have... Oh, I don't. Well, there's some Inquisitors down there along with Watchmen, some of the Fire Brigade, and a few Acolytes. Just to confirm, Triss, the environment we're in, does it look like it's legitimately been burned by, like, fire? Or would that be an investigation roll?
That would be an investigation roll.
Okay.
Which you can make, but will take you a moment.
Okay. Yeah, because even though it's fired, it could actually be lightning that ignited things. As a for instance.
Okay, based on that, yeah, it's hard to tell whether it was magical fire or not, but it clearly was fire damage. And you are inclined to say it, based on the patterning in the room and what you recall of the room's layout prior, that this was intentional, that they were trying to destroy something that had been in here.
Okay, and judging by this fire, it looks like whoever the mysterious they are, Inquisitors, or intentionally trying to make this place burn, probably to keep, I don't know, some evidence or maybe some recent ongoings from being found out. Though with Inquisitors actually being down there right now. I don't know how safe it is to actively investigate. One second. Um, can't. Oh no, that's been like 10 days. That exhaustion is not there anymore.
You've had several long rests. Any exhaustion has definitely been purged.
It'll probably be another investigation roll, but can I make a roll to determine the origin point of the fire?
No, I'll include that in this roll. If you had to hazard a guess, it looks like it started roughly where she was keeping her research materials.
Oh, it looks like the fire was...
all those historical texts and stuff she was using.
Yeah. It looks like they were trying to destroy her journals and her research. Which I seen them all making a copy of her journals a number of weeks ago, so... Okay. But if they're trying to find the sword, then you think her research would be useful. Unless they removed it first. Can I tell if it's fire, so maybe not. Once you know, I'm familiar with the contents. Can I tell if what is burned in there is of the same, or was of the same, I guess, amount or material type that her journals were and such? Because what I'm trying to figure out, and I completely understand if I just can't, if something was swapped in and then it was burnt along with the room to complete the illusion.
That will definitely require a second investigation check.
Okay.
And given what you are dealing with, in terms of what's left and what you're trying to sort through, I'm going to call that disadvantage.
Okay, I was thinking this would be rather difficult. So... I will use enhanced ability on myself for, and I believe this would be
Investigations intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah. Dexterity, charisma. Fox is cunning. Target has intelligence. Okay. Tapping into my natural self. Huzzah!
Okay, that is enough to tell you that the amount of debris you are finding is not consistent with the amount of materials that had been there.
Okay, it looks like they took the material first, which any smart person would do. Actually, no, a smart person would try to duplicate the materials and then burn it, but that's not the here nor there. Yeah, it looks like they swapped it out.
So burn the plate must say. So swapped out the books, burn the place down. To make it look like they didn't take anything.
Yeah, like it was just an accident. No. I mean, I'm assuming it's the Inquisition and Lord Drakeblood, but there has to be something else to go off of here. Finding out where it was being held is pointless because it's not there anymore. I suppose they could be trying to research how to control it, but it doesn't exactly help us get the research back. I think it'd be safe to assume it's either with the mayor or with Lord Drakeblood. Unless the Circle is cooperating with the research. Over the 10-day, was there any indication that the Circle was aiding the Inquisition?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Based on how active were you guys in the city, or were you just holding up in your tower the whole time, or?
Kodo was largely working in the so that's something Kodo wouldn't be able to observe.
Yeah, like Kodo would be unsure.
But I don't know about. I guess I'll ask Tibbs as soon as Tibbs comes back, provided he just didn't hang out in the abode as well.
Well, I know Tibbs said he spent that time crafting bullets, so it sounds like you both were held up the whole time.
Would it take?
He made 25 bullets, which would take the 10 would take the work week.
Okay. No shit. We might not know shit. Was Kenshi out?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say anything I would have done wouldn't have involved me doing much. The only thing I possibly would have done would have been try to stealthily leave food in certain areas so that people could try to get their hands on it. That's about it.
Okay. So, Kenshi, did you see any indication of the Circle helping the Inquisition?
Normal. Subtracting 1, so that's 19. Okay. Based on what I saw, it sounded like they're trying to, quote, remain neutral. As their people are the ones that are getting picked up as seditionists, when they're picking up psionicists and spellcasters.
Right.
Which in and of itself says that Drake and Borlock are worried about spellcasters as potential threats to their power. As well as whoever this supposed God King is at the moment.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts, Tibbs? Or kid that I hang around?
Yes. Brian? Right?
Oh no, the internet has once again swallowed his connection.
Sorry, I thought you said he was back.
He is now in the void between.
No, I came back to answer a question I heard his name. But, yeah. Let's see. Sorry, what was the question?
If you had any thoughts on the situation and, by extension, where to go or how to find to go next, because it sounds like we've pretty much kind of uncovered the why of the fire.
So now we kind of have to figure out the who.
Or I presume it was Lord Drakeblood. I'm just unless there's some. The investigation check earlier did this seem to be the primary target from the origin of the fire, or were there other burn areas that we could see from across the way?
Well, again, the whole place was burned, the fuck down.
Yeah.
if this was not based on your previous examination, if this was not the origin point of the fire, it was certainly one of the main focal points.
Right. Last time we were investigating, we tried to move too fast. As far as where Father Dumas is still safe.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out where they took the books.
Well, listen, I would think I wouldn't want them to have the research on the blade.
Okay. So, want to know where the books are. What else do we want to know?
Well, was there any word about Helmstrom? Because I know he was.
Hellstrom
was
was
here
the
a
guy
week ago.
Grant Hellstrom's the guy that helped you go into hiding.
Right.
Since you guys have been working the entire time, you haven't really been in contact with him.
But like the decree didn't mention him.
Did
in,
not
any
mention
small
him.
Text or
Yeah,
anything.
did not mention him being.
Okay. So he probably wasn't here at the time, or it's being kept secret. To be safe, I think we should investigate some of the surrounding area without being seen. Kid and I have found can just use the excuse of being precocious kids. Kenshi, I assume you can get your way out of any situation if we're found.
In theory.
Okay, unless there's any objections, I would like to stealth around and see if I can investigate or hear anything else about the fire to see if there's any other things that were seemingly targeted for Flamey Doom.
Okay.
Do we need to reroll stealth for that?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of questions. Trying to think of what we need to know. Do we know where Father Dumas is?
Wow.
In hiding.
I recounted that at the beginning. Yes, you know where Father Dumas is.
Yes. Okay. I mean, just trying to make sure, sense that.
You know where he is holed up. You have not checked on him since the fire to know if he is still holed up there, but you know where he was in theory hiding.
That's what I meant. Sorry. I know we saved him, and I hope I know he didn't get captured again right after we saved him. All right. Let's see. So they have the books. We got to figure out where they took the books.
Yeah, and I want to see if there's any other hints or clues around here in case we're being too focused.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think of wording at the moment.
Alright, so what are we rolling?
Well, I've rolled stealth and investigation for kind of moving around the place and gathering information about other potential areas that look like they've been, center points of destruction.
Okay.
Tibbs, I think, was trying to think of extra questions.
Well, based on your stealth and investigation, you are able to mostly make your way around undetected. There are a couple close calls. Other focal points appear to have been Father Dimas's office and the area that passed for a library where most of the texts were kept.
Okay.
I.e. where Kalina had gotten her research in the first place.
Okay, so it sounds like, again, definitely more targets towards the witchfire.
The witchfire.
The witchfire research. Judging by the scent, can I tell if there was any unusual accelerants in use?
It seems to be a pretty basic, little bit of, like an oil and alcohol mixture.
Okay.
Might be a little bit of alchemist fire in there, to kind of get it started.
Okay. I'm not super good at reading people. I believe that was Kriv. Kenshi, as I recall, you were pretty good at it?
Don't think there's any feats for that. Nope. So he's got what he's got. I'm passable at it. It's something I've trained in.
Okay. Because what I'm wanting to know is if the Inquisitors are using here being supervisors as a facade to, like, make sure if certain things are gone, or if they're being cautious about anything, and simply glancing, I can't tell that.
I can try.
Hidden motives.
Toggle to normal. And kind of like, move up and crouch, on one of the edges, trying to get down low. Observe for a while you're poking around doing your thing. When you get back to him after doing your sweep, and he's like, near as I can tell, the ones here at least just seem to be, acting policey.
Okay.
Which means that they either were not involved or they're very good at hiding it.
There's kind of signs of like footprints. But that'd be survival, wouldn't it? No.
Yeah, tracking would be under finding footprints can go under investigation or survival.
Okay. Oh, I thought perception could identify the idea that footprints exist.
Perception can also do it, but it might be a slightly different DC.
Okay. Screening out for our own. I'm gonna give a look see for that. See if there's anything we could that we could potentially track.
Okay, you guys must have leveled to 24 because my PDF is only 23. So I was slightly wrong. Okay. Based on that, you are able to make out that there are footprints around here.
Am I able to screen out ours?
That would be more of a survival or an investigation.
Okay.
I'd say you have spotted them. You have spotted footprints in the various areas where you have been moving. You are not sure who they belong to, or what type of, or how old they are, or anything like that. That would be more of a survival and investigation type thing.
I'll go for investigation over survival since I'm being really good at that. And I'm sorry, Brian. I'm doing a lot of actions and talking. Is there anything you'd like to do?
No, I must say you're doing pretty good. I'm still trying to. Tibbs is currently sitting right here trying to. Looks as if he's trying to mull over something to say while he's in the middle of trying to, for what seems to be preparing a spell.
Okay. Oh, Tris. Also,
I will ask you if it's like, do you have, do you have any questions pertaining to this situation that you know of off the top of your head?
First off, Tris, I'd like to drop my enhanced ability for this investigation to bring up detect magic.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, your question was if I have any thoughts about this?
Any questions? Questions that you kind of want to attempt to have answered. Going to see if communing will help me.
Good thoughts. So,
Say,
who set the
I'm-
fire?
I would like to.
and-
I would like to attempt to commune, but I can only get yes or no answers.
Oh, okay.
Technically, I could ask if the real people who set the fire were the Inquisitors, or were the people who set the fire associated with the Inquisitors.
Those are two different questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get three.
Did did someone under the command of Lord Drakeblood set the fire? Let's see.
Do they currently have the books?
That's a good question.
Do they currently have the books? Is Drakeblood are Drakeblood or his associates behind this fire? Do they still have the books? And we do get a third question. Are the books still within the town?
Okay. You say you only get three?
I get three. I get three yes or no questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with those questions. Kenshi, do you have any thoughts?
I'm good. Okay, so what is your first question?
First question. Drakeblood, correct? That's his name?
Lord Drakeblood.
Yeah, Lord Drakeblood is the.
Yeah. I see. Are Lord Drakeblood and his goons behind? Lord Drakeblood and his associates behind the burning of this temple?
Yes.
Do they currently have the books?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Interesting.
Are the books still within the city?
Yes.
Okay. So the place was burnt. I say the place was set on fire by these people. I say the place was set on fire by these people. They do not. They do not have the books, but the books are still within the city.
They don't have the books.
So that means that somebody else came. Somebody else took them.
Well, Helmstrom's,
I say either somebody else took them, or they took them, and then someone stole them from them.
well,
So they stole the books from here, then someone probably beat them up and took them. So.
we know Helmstrom's people are against what's going on, but you'd think it would be informed if it was attached to the burning of the cathedral.
We probably could ask Father Dumas if he actually moved the books. I say because he could have easily have came through here and taken them, and moved them to a different place because he knew that they were going to come through here. Because Father Dumas knew the books were here, correct?
I believe you had told him as such, yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So maybe he came through and actually took the books or something like that. Or maybe like his apostles, must say maybe his acolytes actually came through and took the books and moved them at his behest. So if they don't have them, then that means one of two people has them. Either Father Dumas has them, or option B, crazy bitch came back and she took them.
You're not accounting for the third option.
Those are the only two options I can think of off the top of my head.
Batman!
I don't think this universe has one of those.
Batman. I mean,
Besides
every universe.
literally being a bat. Pretty sure we have man bats. Not sure
The Transcend universe.
We have.
Batman.
Thinking. Oh, did my investigation and detect magic reveal anything?
Detect magic would not reveal anything out of the ordinary. And the investigation was for identifying footprints.
Yeah.
You can make out that several of them are not yours.
I understand tracing them would be a matter of survival.
Yeah, tracing them would be a matter of survival. You make out, some male, some female, a couple non-humans of smaller stature. You're not entirely sure, like halfling, gnome, why they fall in that category. One looks like it might be it seems to be kind of burned and half destroyed, so you guess probably was before the fire. Seems to be like it might have been made by the sandally slipper type things the acolytes were wearing.
Okay, and according to the questions, it was it was them who initially took it, but they don't have it now. So it's not like the acolyte.
No, he asked if they started the fire.
Okay. Because I'm thinking the acolytes. I think it was mentioned before. Maybe
That's it. Because when he asked about the books,
Yeah.
they were not involved with the books.
Okay. So far as we're aware, we're not currently under any observation.
You are aware there is a risk of being observed, but so far you have been able to avoid being detected by the various inspectors and police officer types.
Okay.
But as this is an active, crime scene, you're not sure how long you'll be able to continue getting away with that. I.e., when I will call for another check.
Okay. I'd like to go back into what I'm hoping is the more secluded area of Kalina's room.
It is less easily observed given that it is on what is left of the second floor.
Okay. And I would like to use sending to Dumas.
Okay.
Dumas. It appears that ill tidings has befallen your cathedral. However, research has been taken from the library and Kalina's room at your request, or perhaps your acolytes. Because Tibbs is right when he mentioned, like, maybe Father Dumas had something to do with it, in the same way that, like, I can still operate my whatever from jail. It's like, I'm in hiding, but I still want to keep tabs.
Yeah. Okay. You are not getting a response.
Dumas isn't responding to me.
Which sending request? It feels like the message didn't make contact.
From where he was hiding, they shouldn't have. It looks like he didn't make contact. I wouldn't think he'd be so sequestered that it wouldn't work. Because the friend that was mentioned... I mean, from what I recall from what you said, they weren't, say, circle related or anything.
Not to your knowledge, at least. He didn't give you a lot of details.
Because my concern is maybe he was captured.
Mm.
Can anyone think of any reason to stay here any longer?
No, because this place is probably going to eventually collapse, and we probably don't want to be in it when it when it does.
Okay.
It has not sounded happy with your presence as you move around.
Okay, is it that much? Okay, anyone have a particular destination they'd like?
That's a fantastic question.
Oops, I need to remember that. Okay.
I would think we know where Father Dumas is being held. Held
He
up.
gave you the name of the place he is at and the address. Yes,
I'm not familiar with it. I don't want to.
you have not been there.
I don't want to do that teleporting thing again with Kalina.
Okay. Then let's just. Then I guess let's just walk.
Well, you and I might be able to bluff ourselves out of here, but Kenshi, on the other hand,
I suppose I can dimension door out if your guys are going to try and BS your way through.
well, then there's the bridge to deal with. We can just pop back up over at the cemetery and walk out again.
We have to go back through the checkpoints and everything, but yeah, we could do that.
Well,
I'm not saying no. I'm just,
I'm just
pointing that out.
Well, okay. Is Kodo familiar enough with like other places we've been have been rather out in the open?
A few nooks and crannies that you've had to move through, including the place where you initially bamfed to get here.
Which I presumed was near a public area anyway.
It was off to the side from one of the more public areas, yeah.
Okay, in which case, I guess we can go back there.
There are a few other alleys and stuff you have had to navigate when you were being stealthy, since getting here. That you have at least a loose... It's not a perfect familiarity, but you've been there before.
Okay. 53.
Is that... Where are you going?
You said one of the places, I guess one of the alleyways that I was familiar with.
So seen casually, 53, you say?
Yes.
is off target. You and the group appear at a random distance away from the destination in a random direction. Okay, that's a weird way to do it.
The 1d10 times 1d10%
Yeah.
of the distance.
You are off by 35%.
Oof.
I mean, it's not a super long distance.
North, northeast, east, southeast. Okay, so you would be northwest. So that would put you 35% northwest from there. That puts you just outside the city walls.
Good, we haven't been seen.
Guess that's the way of looking at it.
He's not wrong.
He was like, well, we got where we wanted to go. Might not have gotten as far as we wanted to go, but we're near it.
Bending space is tricky. Okay.
So you will have to actually go back through these city gates or figure out a way around them.
That's easy. Kenshi is our papa, and we're looking for a mom.
Don't get many yokai through here, but I guess I can try faking that and see how it goes.
Oh, you have your hood up, right?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying if they have any reason to make me lower my hood, we might have a problem. I'm not saying no to the plan. I am just pointing out that that is potentially an issue.
We're enigmatic.
Just a yokai and his two children. They'll never know.
I feel like this is a famous last words moment.
Well, at least now we know what we're dealing with. So, if they try to jump us, we can beat the shit out of them.
Or, I could just do a shorter, more controlled teleport to the other side of the wall.
There's also that.
Okay.
Here, hold on, guys. I'm just along for the ride.
So what are we thinking? Turn back around and go back in, or head to the... So, we're heading back into town, I assume, so...
Well, that's the question. How do you want to get back into town? You are outside the walls, so how do you want to get past... How do you want to deal with the gate?
We could either both hurry through, or I could do a short port.
Are we aware if there's, we're not aware if there's any sort of detection. Last time we tried to walk through, they detected us.
Mm-hmm. And that has not changed. Those wards are probably still present.
Okay. I will ask. I will ask. I'll say you're a pretty good spellcaster. Um, are you aware if I'll say are you aware if wards would be able to detect people passing through the ethereal plane?
Do I need to make an arcana
That
roll
would be
for
an
that?
Arcana check, yeah.
Because I would assume that there's always something walking around in the ethereal plane.
Based on that roll, it would depend on what type of ward they're using. There are wards capable of detecting stuff moving through the ethereal plane.
Yes, they
It's
could.
even possible to station people in the ethereal plane just to keep an eye out for people trying to slip in on the ethereal plane.
It's possible they could have wards set up to detect it. Yeah.
Hmm. Do wards fall under detect magic?
They can fall under detect magic. I mean, will detect magic see them?
Um, like yeah, I must say if I use like detect magic to look for wards specifically targeted towards a spell that I have.
Detect magic would reveal magical sensors that they have in place. Yes.
Okay. Could I look for one that is? Can I look for one that is attuned to Ethereum to my Ethereums?
As I remember, detect magic. If you focus on it long enough, it would tell you yes.
Okay.
Because the longer you look at something, the more information you get.
Okay. Cool. In which case, if you want to give me a moment, I will
But
do
you do have to
that.
be within range, which means you'd have to be within line of sight of the gate, which means people would see you.
I mean, I'm just trying to see where if it's near an access point that we're trying to go to. I would assume that whatever their
So you would have
sensors
to
are
go.
have
Then you
like
would have
a
to go to an access point because detect magic has a range of 30 feet.
okay.
So
In etherealness, you can't walk through walls, correct?
yeah, you can hope. That's the whole point of being ethereal is you can walk through things.
Okay. I was just making sure it's like if we're ethereal, do the walls still exist in the other realm, and are we
You
able to
would
walk
see
through them?
the ethereal plane is you see everything that is on the material plane, but it's kind of grayscaled, and then and you're like a ghost. You can move through the stuff.
Okay. Cool. In which case, um, probably just find like the nearest wall and see if I can detect any scrying sense within range of it, and then we can just pass through that.
So you're suggesting we ethereal our way out?
I'm guessing we could probably ethereal our way through the wall, because I don't know if they would have lined the gate. I'm gonna say the walls of this city with this I'm gonna say with this sensory spell like that. I can see them do it around the gate. I'm not sure if they do it around the wall.
But that would be excessive,
I'm gonna
considering the
say
size of the
I'm
city.
gonna say and to have wards for everything around the entire city.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that seems costly. I'll say that seems like a rather costly venture. I mean, this guy's probably lunatic enough to actually do it, but I'm willing to gamble that chances are all the big name stuff is probably near the front gate, or if it is out here. I'll say wards have a range, correct?
Generally, wards would have a range of somewhere between 30 and 60 feet in most cases.
Okay. Hmm.
That's not legendary at
Cool.
all.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I will detect magic. Yes, I will detect magic. I will look for. I'll look for anything that appears to be able, particularly be able to sense ethereal. I must say ethereal concepts.
Cool. Make me an investigation check.
Awesome. I'm good at those. By good at those, I mean not that good at those.
Are we counting Kriva Cortana as being existent for the purpose of targets of spells?
For the purposes of targeting, for like teleportations and stuff, yes.
Okay. So I need to use max level etherealness. Okay.
Or have multiple evil casted if Tip knows it. Spread the wealth a bit. Okay. You do not see any wards, glyphs, sigils, or any other magical accoutrement within range or along the wall. In fact, you see so little magic, it is almost the opposite of magic, like there is no magic. There's that little magic along, or stuff on this wall. It is as mundane appearing as it can be.
Okay, good. Thank you for that clarification. Okay.
What do I roll for skepticism?
I don't know. What do you roll for skepticism? Or rather, if you are feeling skeptical, what do you wish to roll an attempt to validate your skepticism?
History as a form of tactics?
I will accept history in this instance, yes.
Okay, to see if this is some sort of like tactic in order to like funnel people. It's like, oh hey, yeah, the front door is definitely a problem. Maybe you want to try and go through this opening over here. I can't roll doubles on shit. I mean, I'm rolling decent. Fucking hell, I can't roll double to save a fucking life. Really, D12?
Okay. You recall coming up in the a book that you discovered during your early days of training, discussing the earliest days of the foundation of the Republic following the felling of the God King, in which, in an effort to secure the fledgling empire that at the time consisted of the one city against reprisal from the God King, the wardens and Queen Artoria herself, in addition to the various crystals and stuff that were put along the walls of the city in order to create a force dome, to prevent aerial bombardment in the event of attack, also had the walls coated with demiridium in order to prevent people from trying to magic through them.
Ah, okay, cool.
Now, this does not prevent what you were trying to do, but it does mean that in the process of doing so, you will have to make a con save for trying to pass through the wall.
That is a lot of resources.
It was a coating; they didn't make them entirely out of it. Kind of like a paint. Yes.
Again, this is a city wall, right?
She commissioned that in an effort to prevent the God King from magicking his way back through the wall and enacting vengeance.
No. I get the motive makes sense. I'm just like, wow.
Yes, that is a lot of demiridium.
That's a lot of
Look, that's a lot of... Look, in order to keep the God King out, I'm pretty sure you could probably convince City Council to pass that budget.
It is a rare mineral, and they have coated the walls in it.
Holy fuck.
Look, if I had like some sort of supreme godlike tyrant that I just somehow managed to depose, I'm pretty sure I'm willing to spend whatever amount of money that I need to get the Diamond Dillion or whatever the fuck.
Now, obviously, most people do not believe this is actually true due to the sheer amount that would have been required. But you do recall reading it in a book that this in theory occurred.
I'll say. This is. I'll say. You did say the queen, commissioned it. So
Yeah.
to me, it seems legit.
I say whether you believe it or not is up to you. But you do recall reading in a history book that the queen would commission this following the eviction of the God King.
Thank you for your
And I'll
skepticism, Tibbs.
And I'll say Tibbs is gonna turn around, realize this, and look back at Kodo, and he's gonna be like, "Since Kriv isn't here to say it, I'll say it for him. This is all your fault."
Oh, what is? Does the wall have anti-magic orbs in it?
No, slightly worse. They coated it in anti-magic lead paint.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, to keep you out.
My initial thought was actually have the bricks made Demeridian, but that felt implausible.
They coated the wall in their stupid anti-magic material.
You see, if you said they were bricks, my thought would have been, you see the mountain, that mountain over there? Well, I see that hill. Yeah, it used to be a mountain.
I see an anthill.
All of it was mine to make the city wall. Shit. Okay.
I'll say, technically we could try to get through. I know that you're a pretty beefy boy, and your constitution's pretty good. How about you? Kenshi?
I mean, I'm okay with my, physical endurance and, stamina and stuff are alright. They're above average.
Okay. Because this is going to be a bit of an endurance test to pass through this wall if we ethereal through it. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything else stopping us besides a paint job.
Oh, let's get through it then.
Alright, you guys ready?
I guess.
Sure.
Cool.
Okay.
I will.
Oh, he's casting it? Okay, I can.
I'd say whoever's doing it, expend your mana.
I have etherealness, unless you felt like.
Keep in mind, you also need to count Cortana and Kriv in your head count for this.
Okay, that's why I had to cast it at level 9 to get the entire party.
So you can either split the party between you, or one person casts it at a higher level.
Oh, let's see. Trying to see how many people it says I can take.
It's...
When you cast as an 8th level or higher, you can target up to 3 willing creatures, including for each spell above 7. Alright, yeah, so I will have to cast it at 9.
Yeah.
Alright, it's not that bad.
Alright.
I can. How much mana do you have, David?
All of you should be at
yes.
Are you above 200 mana points?
Oh, okay.
My maximum mana, unfortunately, is 194. I would love it to breach 200.
Critical.
But, unfortunately, due to how spell points work, very specific things have to be in place for me to actually gain more mana points. Because the chart doesn't actually go above 20. I've actually only been able to breach that because Sorcerer grants me extra slots, and we had those extra slots become extra mana points.
Yeah, which is how that worked, yeah. Like you convert those slots into spell points.
Right. So I cannot get any higher unless special wording is involved. I am just shy of 200. I wish it was 200.
Well, you should get more as you advance. And doesn't the epic level give you more spell slots as you keep going? So I mean,
yeah, I think at like 27 or 28 from what I read, it does it again.
Yeah, 27 or 28.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant on the regular. Oh shit! I might actually be higher than I thought.
I was talking about the epic level sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about the numbers of spell level stuff.
Epic sorcerer, spells known, and sorcery points. Okay, yeah. And I believe we were rolling your sorcery points into your mana pool since you were effectively using, or
Well, no, it was any sorcery cost was coming out of my mana pool.
Okay.
My sorcery points was technically a thing I didn't really have access to due to how we're
Yeah.
doing my thing.
Right. Okay.
Which is why the only reason why I was able to gain extra mana points beyond 20th is because one of the levels straight up says
extra spell
you
capacity.
gain spell slots.
And then you get the next one at level 26 sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like I've technically quote unquote exceeded maximum already.
Yeah. And, until he gets a stat up or something.
Oh,
Because remember, having higher charisma also affects your.
Yeah, let me look at that actually.
All right. In which case, I will cast it at 9th level.
Yeah, you get additional spell slots at 26 and 29.
Yeah.
Cool. And I will go ahead and do that because now that I have rubber bullets, I don't need to cast magic as much as I used to. Alright.
I don't know if I factored in after I read that book.
Cool. I need a con save for you. I guess you
That's
need
it. Everybody
a
trying to
con
pass
save.
through the wall requires a con save unless they're in mark mode.
Well, it's not Kenshi, but I mean. It'll do.
22.
22.
So it goes from 26 to 40. Because I don't think I did this. It means I gain an additional 14.
Did you break 200?
Yeah.
There you go.
208.
Huzzah.
I feel really good now. I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but I don't care. I just feel pride.
Yay!
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Tibbs and Koto, as you are passing through the wall, your skin begins to feel itchy, and you have a mildly upset stomach. But other than
Yeah,
that, you are
itchy
fine
chest.
as you pass across the other side.
Does it disrupt concentration?
It does not. It says you feel itchy and mildly queasy, but are unimpaired. So you just don't feel happy, but you are able to pass through, and once you're on the other side, the effects begin to fade.
I'll like hunch over near a bush for a few moments.
Oh man, I was 2 points away from being able to take nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kenshi just rolled straight through that shit. So,
Yep.
All right.
He's like,
That was literally about as good as I can do. I mean, I did pretty good with a 0 constitution. So
Yeah, I was about to say that's a.
see, Kenshi straight up has like a theme as he's walking through the wall.
can't roll doubles on shit though.
Wait a minute. You're not. The modifier. Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, you're not proficient, but you have 0 constitution. But
Yeah, the +2 from the necklace.
oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Six,
the con. That's all
four,
con
two
saves. I
from
thought
the-
that was to poison specifically.
No, it's I'll say it's to all saves.
Okay, cool.
The change of the kiss of the changebringer. Increase the bonus to all saving throws to a +2.
Awesome.
That really has been helping you out.
So
This is literally the only reason why I will make any. I'll say I'm only really good at wisdom.
So yes, you have passed through the wall. You are back in the city.
I believe
Ha!
that.
Joke's on them. God King came to kill the God King.
Oh yes, I'm sure he's gonna be so intimidating over there, puking on his shoes.
Ugh.
Well, God King's got to shake off the rust.
What was the power? What was the thing called? Like to cast an intensified spell.
Mhm.
What's that, you ask? Fuck you, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, I just read that. That shit is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to kill the boss in one hit? Yes, I do. Do I want to
Ooh.
murder an entire army? Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah. So, I believe it was. We were trying to track down the books.
Ideally, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So this at the fire the numbers okay. And Dumas was incommunicado.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I would like to do is go around and ask around to see if there was any unusual, if anyone spotted, any activity around the time.
So you want to make your way back over to roughly where the cathedral was and gather some information?
That's something I would like to do. Since there is some concern about Father Dumas, would either of you want to go and check that out?
I would. I didn't know if I didn't know. Did you want to stay? I'll ask Kenshi. Did you want to stay in the ethereal realm? Because I was planning on using that in order to get from point A to point B.
I'll go with whoever thinks they need, the backup more. If I'm in the ethereal realm, I obviously can't help whoever's in the physical realm, and vice versa. So,
if you want to, I'll say, do you think that you could? I'll say you're pretty good at turning up information, correct?
I'll write at it. Again, it's kind of an essential skill for my job.
Okay. Which case, I'm going to head over to Father Dumas and go check in on him.
Well, I'm pretty good at talking to people. My concern is, even with you having your Kid Tibbs persona, is that if you weren't in the trouble.
Oh, technically, if I stay in this realm, it's not much trouble I can run into.
Not entirely true. I mean, there are things in the ethereal realm.
And also...
True.
And they could be patrolling it, we don't know.
And some of the Inquisitors have extended
senses.
Sight. That's Kodo trying to refer to true sight.
That's it, yeah. Some of them did demonstrate having true sight, which means they would be able to see you.
In which case, me and my friends here, I'll point to the mark-coded ones. I'm sure that they will show up in the nick of time to help me if need be.
Well, if you're insisting.
He'll look at you. He's like, in all honesty, I feel that you have more of a history of getting into trouble than I do.
I'm getting completely out of game here. He's refused 3 times. As a yokai, I have to accept.
Seriously, in game, you have been assaulted more than the rest of us.
Yeah, I know. Projectiles are my worst enemy.
Allow me to put it another way. Given the trouble you guys experienced, in the previous adventure with stuff in town, are you sure you want to split the party when there's only 2 of you, effectively?
This is fair.
I'm not saying don't. I'm just bringing that up as a warning.
This is true. If you guys want to do that, I will stick around while I'm staying in the ethereal plane. I'm not coming out.
Okay.
I think that only lasts for an hour, right?
8 hours.
8 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
This phrase says up to 8 hours, but yeah. And it's not concentration. That being said, apparently...
I'm going to just drop it.
Apparently, Ultra Self is, so I need to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it wasn't. I was wrong.
True polymorph lasts, as far as I know, until I get injured.
True polymorph lasts concentration up until
to
an
an
hour, but after that hour, it's permanent until vanquished. Because we were moving in the morning, I kind of
Yeah.
was thinking that we
You're constant.
yeah.
So he's stuck
Yeah,
as a human child until you turn him back.
or he gets popped.
Or
back to his own form.
until I lose the hit points
Yeah.
and then I turn back.
I do believe a commoner has 10 HP.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the spell lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies.
Yeah. Okay. That being said, okay, I guess then we, with him staying in the regular plane, the ethereal plane, will go back to the cathedral area. And does Kenshi want to ask around independently, or does he want to assist me?
He will assist you.
Okay.
Because, well, NPC.
He keeps saying that. I'm trying to involve him, though. This is an act.
I'm not disputing that. I am just saying he is technically in NPC mode right now, so he's not going to do the heavy lifting for you, but he will happily give you the assist bonus.
Okay. And this would be charisma investigation.
Yeah, charisma investigation for gather information. Okay. What are we trying to get?
I am I am asking around for I'm asking around for my older brother in the newspaper, since I'm not actually looking like Kodo right now. If around if anyone had seen like unusual movement during the you said we saw smoke in the morning.
Yeah, the fire had long since burned out, and you were seeing smoke rising in the morning. So
okay, so it would have been during the night.
Yeah, you very easily, especially on those early investigations, would know this would have happened overnight.
Okay, if there was any unusual activity around the cathedral last night, if anyone was seen, if there were people acting oddly.
Okay, based on those rolls, nobody is aware of anything. They just, somewhere dead of night. There's some confusion on time. Some people are, guessing around midnight. Others are, talking like, witching hour of the wolf, like 3 a.m. Somewhere in there, cries of alarm went up, and there was a blaze, that many in the district claim was so brilliant they thought the sun had come early.
Well, that sounds like it would have to be a spell. Or is that something I would know the answer to?
You're guessing that they are, exaggerating some, but if the entire structure, was going at the same time, it could have been, for people that lived close to the church, it could have been, pretty fucking bright.
Okay.
No suspicious figures were seen that overnight, though you do note, as you're going around asking this, that there is a suspicious figure that, about partway into your investigation does seem to have started to tail you.
My passive?
Yeah.
Nice.
Catching them in the periph, smaller stature, not like halfling or child stature, but like a individual on the shorter side. Hard to judge with due to their cloak and everything, but if you had to hazard a guess, you'd guess on the slimmer side. Not they're definitely not like a hulking brute or somebody wearing large bulky armor, and they seemed very adept at weaving in and out of the crowd. So that would belie a certain level of agility, maybe?
Okay. Let's see. Arcane Focus does not eschew material components, does it?
The Arcane Focus replaces material components up that do not have a gold value.
Okay.
But you are a sorcerer, so you don't have you don't use material components anyway as a sorcerer.
Okay.
That's a house rule, but yeah.
Okay. In which case that would do that. So it would only require a very tiny gesture with no verbal components. Okay. I will... That cost me 7. I will cast Telepathic Bond, so there's no way that I can be overheard. To you guys, though, I don't think I can link Tibbs into this because he's on
the wrong plane, yeah, because he's on a different plane.
Yeah.
And I need to double check, but I don't think... no, Tibbs, with your passive perception, you are able to see this individual, that seems to have an interest in Kodo as well.
Okay, there's someone tailing me, or do I know it's me in particular, or just or me and Kenshi?
Given that Kenshi's sticking close to you to both cover you and help by asking questions and stuff in the course of the investigation, it's kind of hard to tell. It's that they're seemingly interested in the from what you can tell, the pair of you.
Okay, there's someone following us. If we could separate a little bit, but stay within line of sight, we can see which one of us he goes for. Okay, I wasn't sure if it shared senses or anything. It's just a form of silent communication. Okay. Got you. That sound good?
I can give it a shot.
Okay. Since I've clearly been talking to people and such like that, I would like to go over next to I'm sure there's some kind of shop, brick and mortar shop nearby.
Okay.
Um,
You're able to make your way over, so you're kind of ducking around the side of a small mom and pop bakery
okay.
in the district.
And I will be eating some candy, so I'm just not standing there going, "Hey," because I wanna look, and this might be a deception roll, I guess. I wanna look unassuming and distracted.
Okay.
Would that be deception versus stealth?
That'd be deception in this case. Yeah.
Jeez. I generated a stun point. Okay.
Alright. The individual seems to be going after Kenshi.
Okay. In which case, I would like to... That is a concentration spell. Because of our previous operations in the city, we're known quantities, right?
Yep. You established pretty early on they seem to be looking for you guys specifically.
Yeah. I can't cast that. No, that'd be mean. Well then. Is this concentration? No, it's not. Okay. Okay, what I would like to do, and I'm hoping there won't be any kind of shift from this, I'd like to duplicate my altered self look using disguise self.
So you have the same disguise on twice, basically.
Because I'm wanting to shut down Alter Self.
Okay, so you're dropping Alter Self and replacing it with Disguise Self and trying to do it in a way that's seamless enough that...
Yeah. Because Disguise Self is not concentration.
Make me a...
I could argue an Arcana roll because magic shenanigans, but I'm curious as to what you're going to say.
Arcana was one of the ones I was thinking of. That's more of a knowledge. Let's call it a spellcaster check.
Of course.
That include proficiency?
Well, a spellcaster check is what a counter spell uses, and that doesn't have.
No, in this case, using your spell. I'm making up a skill using your spellcasting stat.
Oh, okay. Then I could just effectively roll Arcana, but
Well, it's charisma plus your proficiency die.
Oh, duh. You're right. So something would be the same.
If your proficiency charisma saves, you can roll that. That would be the same.
Yeah. I want to roll a factor in the. There we go. It's just 22.
Okay. If there was a seam in the transition, it went by fast enough. You missed it.
Okay.
You feel reasonably confident that it was as relatively seamless.
Okay.
If somebody can see frames per second, you might be fucked. But otherwise, you're pretty good.
Good thing we're not in GURPS. Okay. In that case, what I would like to do... I didn't remember I had that. What I would like to do is, with that going on, I know this will, almost defeat the idea. I would like to then cast... It's 4th level. I would like to then cast greater invisibility on myself, and I will spend some extra mana points to double the duration, and then go tally forth to to follow the person who is going towards Kenshi. And since I recall that Tibbs is in the ethereal plane, I'm curious as to what Tibbs is doing. Oh, I will still roll a stealth roll. Just in case. I guess for the silent part?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I keep mentioning Tibbs because I again realize I'm doing a lot of talking and actions, but of course you're still here. So.
Well, I say Tibbs' whole thing is for when we get to Father Dumas.
Well, I mean, you've seen this individual seemingly now following Kenshi. They were following Kodo and Kenshi earlier.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I'll say with the bond, you guys can kind of know about it.
Doesn't mean you don't want to get involved. We don't know.
But I mean, if you guys seem like you're dealing with if it starts reaching a point where you can't handle it, yeah, I'll come out of etherealness to help, but I don't see why the God King and an expert assassin can.
He's an assassin now.
Well, all assassins know Ido, right?
He's been pretty awesome.
Swordsman, assassin, you murder people really quick. All I see is your sword click, there's a shine, and then they're cut into ribbons.
That's like, 'cause he's been like, I'm a monster hunter. I kill monsters. That's.
Yeah, but you do it so quick.
Pretty sure that just means he's good.
Oh, Trish,
yeah,
just so
assassin.
Okay. Just so you're aware, I am using one use of controlled shape-shifting to get my 60 feet of true sight from my Kitsune form.
Okay.
I believe the difference between an assassin and an assassin and a warrior is how flashy you are when you do it.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. But okay.
But like a paladin, he's yelling and screaming as he brings his giant ass claymore down on your head. Kinshi, shink, they fall to pieces. All right, my job's done. Where's my money?
Job's done. All right. Individual seems to be staying roughly 20, 25 feet back and trying to maintain that distance.
Do they appear to be under any kind of magical illusory disguise or shapeshift or polymorph?
Not that you're perceiving.
Does he have, and this sounds simultaneously awesome and scary what I'm about to say, does he or she have any guards around him in the ethereal plane?
Not that you're noticing.
Okay.
Their cloak doesn't seem to be a dead meridian, though.
Does that affect your sight?
Yes. No.
Fucking lead!
But no, seriously, it just seems to be a person in a cloak, very neatly weaving through the crowd, trying to maintain a distance of about 25 feet.
I have to admit, my first thought was Arya. But Arya wouldn't need to do that shit.
And probably wouldn't be wearing the cloak.
Yeah.
No, it's New Year's. It's Arya's day off. By the way, it's first day of the new year.
I didn't give anyone presents for my deposement. Wait, do I need to do that? I don't think I need to follow that tradition. Okay, I would like to invisibly approach this individual because I want to see if they're writing anything down. If we're suddenly in a slice of life and they have blush on their cheeks, so they're just following a crutch.
Okay, getting closer. See, you're not ethereal, you're just invisible.
Yep.
Moving through the crowd. Let's call that acrobatics.
Kills!
Or athletics if you're just going to try and brute force your way through.
No, I'm going to... Brute forcing my way through would be the god kingly thing to do, but would also be noticeable. But I will go with my less proficient acrobatics because I think I'm that good. Okay, let's just see how this goes.
Well, it's not all one, so you don't crit fail. But you are not gaining ground either.
Okay. Well, there is a thing. What is that?
In fact, you actually lose a little bit of ground.
It's concentration.
Because that's actually a DC fail. So yeah, you will lose about 10 feet.
Okay. Due to my invisibility and such, if I Misty Step, is that a noticeable thing that will perforate the invisibility?
Misty Step, as I recall, does not actually create a visual effect, so you can Misty Step no problem.
Okay.
But it is a densely packed area, and I want to... So, Misty Step does not let you bamf into an occupied space.
No. Is there, like, a street lamp or something that I can...
If you want to go above the crowd, yeah.
That I can, like, bamf and then go slide down it?
You could do that, yeah.
Okay. Freaking ethereal Tim sure can go la-di-da-di-da through whatever crowd he wants.
Yes, I'm just a boy passing through the ethereal plane. Nothing to see here.
Don't mind me.
Children do it all the time. They no clip out of existence. All into the back rooms and...
Okay. Does that help me gain ground if I'm just kind of like...
It will allow you to make up the ground you lost.
Okay. Okay. Is there like any kind of restaurant or something nearby that has like a sparsely populated exterior dining area?
There's a few like cafe type things.
Okay. Kenshi, there's a few areas that have slightly less population density over over near the huh. And they need to come up with a more creative name, the steaming kettle. If you could move over there, so it might be a bit easier to catch this person if they're not as densely packed in this crowd.
Yeah, he'll start moving in that direction.
Oh shit, I gained 2 punches. I can use all the pot to cast that for free. Come back. Okay, with that maneuvering, is it possible for me to more easily teleport into an area to see this person?
If you're sticking to above pedestrian level, yes.
Okay. Boom.
As you're bamfing around, the figure seems to look around a little bit. It seems to actually look in your direction for it, like a moment before going back to looking at their target and continuing.
Okay. Do I have a better view on them, or do I need a roll perception?
At this point, you'd be above them, so the cloak would be more hiding them if you're sticking to the above pedestrian level.
Can I drop to the ground?
You can drop to the ground.
Okay.
Again, acrobatics check to not land on somebody. Given again, day traffic.
What is up with you, Roll20?
I'm going to count that as a partial fail. So you managed to avoid landing on somebody, but you land on your ass.
Okay.
So it'll cost you half movement to get up.
Oh, ironically, I rolled a 8 on these real d6, so...
Okay.
Okay, Roll20, you win so far.
Kenshi's going... I believe you said to go around to the side of the... or do you want him to actually sit down at the...
I just want him to be in the area, because when there's a paddle... a little area like that, there's a bit more, less populated area.
Yeah. So,
because I want to either make this person more visible or test to see if they'll actually leave the crowded group to go into like the sidewalk.
So based on that request, he will head into the place and up to the counter. Looks like he's ordering a pastry or something. The individual in question seems to be moves off to the side, seems to be hanging out across the street, near a lamppost, keeping an eye.
Okay, I would like to approach them. As I approach them, I would like to ready a messy step in case I'm grabbed or attacked.
Mm-hmm. How close are you approaching?
I want to get a really good look on them, so I'll say within 5 feet. Within standard CQC range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can't open the GM screen.
Well, I am not the GM, though. I do wish to ask this: what is Tibbs's positioning?
Effectively, I should be following near you guys. Effectively trying to keep you guys in sight. You can see me, correct?
No, if you're ethereal, no, you have the true sight on, so yeah, you can see him.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, technically, David can ask. Effectively walking, I must say, How far away is this guy hanging back? You said about 20,
They're
20
hanging about. They
meters?
seem to be hanging back about 25 feet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, he hasn't done anything to indicate that he knows that I'm nearby, correct?
Not that you've noticed. But again, how close are
Okay.
you hanging to them?
Not really. I've just kind of been staying with the group. I haven't attempted to
Well,
do
again,
anything.
the group has kind of split. David and Kenshi have, Kodo and Kenshi have been moving separately. So, who you sticking
This
close
is
to,
true.
and how far away are you?
Must say Kenshi does better alone. So sticking with Kodo.
How close to Kodo?
Probably about like 15 feet away from him.
Okay, so far enough away you would not hear this. As you
Yes.
approach within 5 feet, Kodo,
Mhm.
you will hear the individual muttering to themselves. Kind of has a hand up, kind of rubbing the. It looks like it might be rubbing their temple inside the hood. It's like, shut up! I know. I'll get to it in a moment. And they'll just the head kind of turns slightly in your direction, but not really focused on you specifically. It's like, it's very rude to follow somebody while invisible. Intelligence check, if you please.
Not the smartest person around.
Smart enough for this.
Well, 12 for that, okay.
The voice is very familiar, very annoyed, and very aristocratic.
Should it also be very dead?
Presumably.
Well, it's rude to follow someone while visible, and
Let's see, No, you turn back into you.
no, I'm still okay.
Okay, so it just pauses for a minute.
But if she can pierce illusion disguise, then
She's not piercing the illusion disguise. Like I said, looked in your direction, not at you.
no, I know, I get that. I'm just saying if she can.
Yeah. And just, pauses, looks like again in the general direction of like the with like a 7-foot square of your vicinity. And seems to look. There seems to be an air of confusion to her poise. It's like, okay, now I'm really. Shut up! I'm figuring it out. I'm invisible children. What? Shouldn't you be back at the circle?
If I was following the rules, when I said though, is there something I can use to like tap into like the message spell? I don't think anything like that actually exists.
There's no wiretapping message. No.
Okay.
Wiretapping message is standing next to the person who has to speak while they're casting message, because that's how message works. Now, run along then. Shoot. I don't have time for that for you today. No, I will not I don't have any. I'm not gonna. Look, back off, okay? You, run along.
I will. Oh, you said she was near a post.
She's like, kind of, standing up, not leaning, as now that you know who it is. Leaning is not dignified, but they're hanging around a lamppost.
I will walk around them and is there like a nearby like foliage or something?
There's a couple waist high bushes and shrubs that have been placed like along the sides of the walkways to kind of separate the carriage road from the sidewalk.
Okay, I will move behind that. I want to just try to keep her in sight though.
Her gaze does not seem to follow you.
Okay. And using the bond, I'll mention. Don't people stay dead anymore?
Well, given that I work in a profession that mostly deals with people that refuse to stay dead, no!
Well, it looks like your special guest is Kalina.
Oh, good, so I don't have to tell Aurora we accidentally killed her friend. Yay!
I wasn't looking forward to that either, but I am concerned that falling into an unstable pit of energy apparently isn't enough to kill people anymore.
As you glance back over at her, she seems to be like stamping her foot, and almost look like she's standing there arguing with somebody that's not there. Like there's emphatic gesturing.
And she's either talking with someone, or not dying has made her go slightly crazy. Maybe that mechanical god has gotten into her head. But yeah, knowing that, should we confront?
Your call.
I'll wave Ethereal Kid over.
You're still invisible, aren't you?
Shit. I'll drop the invisibility and wave.
I wave, and they don't notice.
Ethereal Kid.
I feel sad now.
Yeah, remind you you're a woman. Oh yeah.
Tag!
Because apparently you can still hear things in the material plane, yeah?
Yes. It's somewhat distorted, kind of like underwater sounding, but you can hear.
Yeah. In which case, I'll relay the fact that the robed woman talking to herself appears to be Kalina. Following Kenshi. Either she's crazy, she has a crush, or she needs her help. I'm thinking about confronting. What do you think? I asked Tibbs.
Oh, I thought you said Kenshi. Sorry.
I mentioned his name because I was talking about him, but
Okay. So you said you're thinking about approaching?
I'm thinking about confronting.
Okay. All right.
I'm wondering if you think it's a good idea or not. Considering she's supposed to be dead but isn't, and is tailing us versus being all, power yada yada, resurrect my loved one yada yada.
Well, we knew she wasn't dead. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it takes a little bit more than falling into an abyss to kill someone like her.
Well, the abyss was full of energy.
Yeah, but she's crazy, and that sort of thing doesn't affect people like her. Crazy people can't die from falls.
Well, that's good to know.
I know I'm new to the whole magic thing and all, but isn't it like a first tier spell that prevents you from taking fall damage?
Well,
I mean, assuming that you hit the ground.
That's Kenshi. He's still
ground.
linked.
Okay. Sorry,
He's like he's just kind of like sitting at a table. He's got like a Danish, and he's just sitting there eating. And via the bond that, as far as I know, you still have on. He's like,
yeah.
So he can hear you guys talking. And it was like, wouldn't that just be like a first tier spell to prevent falling from hurting? I mean, I could do that even before I started getting magic.
I mean, to be fair, yes, but at the same time, she fell into energy. There was no ground.
The secret to Return of the Jedi. Palpatine just knew Featherfall.
I'm like, what spell stops you from falling and getting struck with lightning?
Oh, I guess I don't have protection on Featherfall.
Yeah, that's absorb elements. I know that one. That helps protect against lightning.
I guess you could absorb it and then shoot the lightning back.
Yep.
Yeah. But
That's
anyway,
lightning.
concerning confronting her.
Teleport might work too. She just teleports out of the fall. Is that a thing? Or can you open like a can you do one of those like magic portals underneath you and then fall into the portal and come out somewhere else? Is that an option?
If she's good enough, yeah.
I'm not opposed to. I'll say, Tez will say, I'm not opposed to just talking to her, seeing.
Should we talk to her here, or should we shove her through a portal?
She might react poorly if you shove her through a portal.
She might react poorly. I react poorly to all of those magical minds in that battle in the temple.
True, but if I'll say she can't really do anything crazy out here in public, ideally, because I don't think that she wants to fight everyone here. I mean, granted, it'd be nice to have her as an ally, but
that's true.
Probably best to not. I'll say she's probably really jittery, so grabbing her and stuffing her in a portal and telling her, "Hey, it's me." I mean.
Well, I can't really drop this illusion while I'm over here, and it's not like I want to kill her either. I'm just upset with her.
Well, I'm not. Do you want me to talk to her?
You know what? Sure, I'd like to see that.
Okay. In which case, I'll walk around. I'll start walking towards her.
I'd like the ready bullshit. 1 second.
I'll start walking towards her, kind of in range of her, and see if she takes notice of me, like walking around her towards, like, behind her.
Well, let's see. You're a cat on a very busy street.
Well, I mean, I'm still in the ethereal plane.
There's that too. If you are staying in the ethereal plane, she does not seem to react.
Okay. Alright. Is there a nearby place, like a alley or a crevice, or like a box or barrel that I can climb into?
Oh, there's several barrels, some crates, an alley, a couple of like hanging box gardens from like second floor windows.
There's the foliage stuff that I myself.
I'd say there's a couple of hedgerows.
Okay. I will attempt to. I'll say which case I will attempt to go inside of like an empty barrel or box.
Okay. Shoot, the portal thing can't just like force her places.
I'll just find like a nearby place to kind of reappear. That's not visible to most people.
Okay, I'd like to ready. I'd like to ready. Yeah. No shit. No, I'm gonna ready volley shield in case he's attacked. There we go. That's it. I don't need to do complex ass shit.
Sure you do. Complex ass shit is fun.
Right. Tibbs is going to. Tibbs is going to walk. Going to prepare. Like as I start walking towards him, like, okay. I trust her, but I also don't. I'm gonna use my sleight of hand and ventriloquism to cast sanctuary around myself. And then I'm going to walk up behind her.
There, more complex.
You're turning into a statue. Wouldn't that be artifact compression?
No, because true polymorph can change the creature into objects.
Yes, okay, so it's artifact compression that doesn't want to admit it's artifact compression.
Yes.
I'll tap her on the shoulder or on the back since I'm tiny.
You're You're still the child?
Yeah.
Not me, but a child.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, so you'll be tapping her child.
I can't turn off true polymorph.
No, I'm just thinking. It's like, okay, child, be closer to tapping her, like, on the arm.
Okay. Like, tap, tap, tap.
Just pause, look down. Like, her eyes will, like, glaze over for a second. There's like, and then come back to normal. Like, okay, you're not the one from earlier. But I don't have any coin. Move along.
She's like, must say Tibbs is like talking in his grown man / cat voice. He's like, I do not need any coin from you.
Oh, well, that is surprising.
Hi, though. How have you been?
I've been better.
Oh, what happened to you?
Well, given that you interrupted the ritual that I was working on at the temple,
Tried to help, yes.
and you knocked me off the platform,
I don't remember that being me, but okay.
you collectively,
Ah,
I ended up falling through the mechanism, and in the process, all the souls that were in the sword have been transplanted into me.
oh,
The fuck?
that's
I mean,
nifty. That's pretty nifty. Wow.
I suppose that's one word
congratulations.
for it. Shh, I'm trying to have a conversation.
Congratulations.
Quiet. Please.
Hmm?
No, not you.
Oh, they won't stop talking.
No, they will not stop talking, and they all have differing opinions about what to do about this. That said, all of them agree, and I'm in agreement as well, that the only way to fix this is to get the sword back. So, while I'm glad you were the one who approached me, as you are the reasonable one of the set, I need the sword back.
I do not have it, because obviously they would not trust a cat with a legendary artifact like that.
Well, whichever one of your party members has it, I need it back.
You see, they're really good at hiding, even so much from me. I just heal them. I don't exactly know what it is that they do in their spare time.
So you're not much of a
Pretty
party
sure.
then, are you?
We are a collective of individuals who happen to beat up the same things. Yes.
Well, in that regard, we have a similar target, as I imagine at this point you're not particularly thrilled with the current status quo that I was trying to warn you guys was coming.
No, he burned down the church. He must say,
I am aware.
I do believe him. Must say, I believe his face will suffer the same fate. Don't exactly. Must say, I'm a little irritated because less than a year ago, I didn't even know what a God King was, and now I know two of them.
Two. I'm not sure how you missed what one is, given that everybody on the continent knows what the first one is, but I'm certainly interested in how you might know two.
Oh, you don't read books?
I'm gonna let that one slide due to the 6-voice migraine.
You're a cat, but you may not know. I have a library card.
I was like, it was like I found out some really interesting things. Like the walls outside were meant to keep the God King out. Doesn't work that well from what I've seen. They can't even keep out a cat.
Well, those wards are 1,000 years old, and I seriously doubt they have updated the coding.
I didn't think that you needed to upgrade from God King, but okay.
Well, imagine, if you would. You know that paint, it wears away with time. It's called erosion. If you don't go out and refresh it, it gets thinner and less effective.
There are no more mountains to grind up for paint.
Well then, I say, well, you see where the budget went. Went into
And
Inquisitors.
most people don't even believe that coding is even there in the first place because, well, it's just so impractical.
It's itchy.
I say, well, considering that doing whatever they did, must say, considering doing that probably impoverished the next 10 generations of people.
I don't see how. There's no monetary value in Dominaridium except in trading it back and forth.
Well, I mean, they kept all of it. Pretty sure doing something like that probably, costs a pretty penny.
I imagine it did, unless they just took it all from his dungeons or whatever, where he was using it to torture people or something. I don't know. I'm not that old.
That's fair.
For all we know, his entire China set was made of the stuff.
That is. Oh, well, that seems really, really silly. I mean, I'll say, at least from what I've seen, it kind of poisons people.
It poisons magic users, so I presume it would be a great way to tell whether your guest is about to hit you with a fireball.
Well, I mean, kind of figured, anything that's poisonous to magic users, probably shouldn't be in close contact with casual people for long periods of time because it probably has adverse effects.
Which is why the circle tries to hoard it as much as possible.
Pulls out Ori Hakon chopsticks.
Probably causes. My guess is that it probably causes cancer or something.
No, not in any of the research I've seen, at least.
Okay. Speaking of research, speaking of research, did you manage to collect your books before they burned down? Collect the books before they burned down the building.
No, I didn't, but I believe one of Uncle Pandor's assistants did.
Well then, that's good. So, so besides trying to get your hands on the sword and killing the God King, is there anything else you've been up to? And then, with the voices in your head.
It's only been a week, and I spent most of that trying to get my sanity back, so... No, I got into town last night, saw the place burning, checked in with my uncle to make sure he wasn't dead, and then tracked down you guys.
So who are you currently tailing?
Whichever one of you I found first, hoping they would lead me to the others. Given that Kenshi is the only one I recognized, I stuck with him, which, given that all of you are operating in disguise, led me to the rest of you, apparently.
Okay.
How well does that sort of disguise spell work against the Inquisitors, anyway?
Well, at least from what I've noticed, they didn't see me, but I foolishly tried sneaking in here as a cat. That didn't go so well because apparently they were looking for cats. Resulted in me shooting a couple of people. My god didn't like that.
Well, given that Lord Drakeblood saw all of you at the cathedral, I'm not surprised that they're out looking for you guys explicitly.
Yes, so I figured that looking like a helpless little poor child with a man's voice, can't possibly stand out that much.
She'll kneel down and tug at your cheek a little bit. It's like, polymorph. Okay.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? How do you people do this? He'll just kind of jostle back and forth on two legs. He's like, it's so weird.
I can fix it if it bothers you.
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just that you guys are so, I'm just a cat, but, I've heard the term before, but you guys are really squishy. Kind of poke her arm too. Tibbs will be like, he'll kind of look, he'll be like, kind of like, he'll just kind of be staring at her, but just like staring at her chest, and then he'll look at his, and he'll look at hers, then look back at his, and he'll look back at hers, and he's like, what do those do, by the way?
Something you'll find out when you're old enough.
I like to walk
I
around from
mean,
behind the hedge.
are those where you keep your? I must say, oh, are those where you keep your nipples?
And there's only two.
She just gives an exasperated sigh and rolls her eyes as she stands back up.
Hey, pretty lady.
Do you have 6 of them? Do humans have 6?
I heard you wanted
So
to
many
change
questions.
the topic of the conversation.
Glance over in your direction. And which one are you?
I'll say, it tells it like, I'm trying to learn here.
Aside from the one from earlier?
I'm the one disappointed in you, and now reluctantly feeling sympathy.
You realize that doesn't narrow it down at all, right?
I'm not the one eating the pastry.
That still leaves the Dragon Man and the Fox.
To be fair, if it was the Dragon Man, he probably would have punched you by now.
He could have certainly tried.
That's what he does, yes.
Actually, as I recall, he tries to hit you with a sharpened stick, but that's beside the point, in which case that would make you the Fox. Koto, I believe?
Yes.
No, not the guitar. Please shut up.
As I presume there are still people like in the vicinity.
Yeah, there's people moving around and going about their business.
I would like to run over towards her, doing a like a kid's giggle that you occasionally hear. Grab her hand and tug her towards. Kenshi was sitting on an outside table eating a pastry. Tug her towards that table.
You jerk for a moment as you're trying to resist, and sees what direction you're heading, and just kind of slumps her shoulders in resignation, and allows herself to be dragged along.
Okay. Okay. Are there waiters at the establishment, or is it just you?
No, you go up to the counter, order, and then sit down.
Okay. I will. I take their pastries for what, silver?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have some offerings for coppers, but most of them are in 1 to 2 silver range.
Okay. I would like to. Oh, that's my great old tech that says that my inventory. Okay, I would like to. This is ridiculous. What I like to do is put my hand in my coin pouch. Pull out, still clenched in my fist, a platinum piece. Use minor illusion to make it look like a silver piece. Put it on the table and point to one of the pieces and go, that one.
Okay. Hand you the. Average-looking, older human woman will just, take it. Here you go, little one.
And then I'll skip back to the table and take a seat.
And as you sit down, she's again rubbing her temples. No, I am not running a daycare. Believe it or not, these are the adventures. Yes, I understand. Quiet. I'm trying to get the sword back so we can fix this. Just be quiet for 5 minutes, please.
So friend referring to Kenshi in this case. It sounds like there's a proposition.
She'll, settle in, look back and forth between you guys, and now that you're at relatively same level, you can see that her hair's somewhat disheveled, but still pretty close together. And she got bags under her eyes, and her eyes are slightly bloodshot, like she has not been sleeping well. And she's looking back between you guys, like, yes, a proposition. You give me the sword back, and together we take down Drakeblood and get this Inquisitorius out of here, dealt with, put back in the ground where they belong. Let history forget about them again.
That is not concentration. I'm no longer invisible.
And then I can go back to researching undoing the damage you've done.
Illusion disguise isn't for concentration. Okay, let's see, shoot. I thought Silence can act as a privacy bubble, but it can't. I thought there was a privacy bubble spell. Kind of like the thing from D6.
And you mean Private Sanctum?
But does that allow screening of sound?
I believe so.
It can be as small as 5 feet to 100 feet.
Sounds can't pass through the barrier at the edge of the warded area. Divination spells can't penetrate the warded area.
Okay. I'd like to cast that to encompass our table. I'm going to make it transparent. Just to make sure our conversation is private.
Mm-hmm.
At which point I can drop my kid facade a little bit. So, where we can talk freely now.
Oh, jolly good.
That being said, I do feel for you, but what are your plans if we do or are able to return that within you to its previous vessel?
Well, I don't want to return them to their previous vessel. I don't want to return them to the sword. I want to either get them into the life stream or get them back to life. But either way, they have to be removed from me first. But that is secondary to the obvious ongoing concern.
Well, it sounds like your research is safeguarded at the moment.
My research for this is an entirely different problem. My research at this point would be at the circle. It didn't pan out exactly as I intended, but the research I had been doing up to this point was successful. I got them out of the sword. My theory about the mechanism was correct. Albeit with some unforeseen consequences due to unwanted interference.
Okay, so it sounds like then that aside from your current issue, you're sincerely focused on this entire traitorous Drakeblood issue.
Correct, since as my mother's soul is back with me, and thus I succeeded in rescuing her after a fashion, we can have this conversation wherein I very politely ask you for the sword back, and then we deal with Drakeblood.
So that's at least good. You got her soul back.
After a fashion.
Correct.
After a fashion.
Well, I mean, as long as you got it, that's the important thing.
Koda will Will grin. Well, it has to be embarrassing having your mother with you all the time.
Haven't had to live with it long enough to figure that out yet, but it's better than not having her around at all. It's the other souls that are problematic.
If we were able to gain access to the sword and give it back to you, we would. You said the just this is for the GM. The orb is as a part of the pommel.
It is embedded in. There is a. It looks like, since you've had time to examine it, it looks like there is a hole in the guard, and it is mounted in the in that hole.
Okay.
So it could be popped out.
So it's like the sort of omens kind of thing. Okay.
It's like you take a little bit of work,
Yeah.
but it could be removed. It is not like permanently affixed.
Okay. Since I've had time to examine it, do I know if the orb is the bulwark of its magical power, or if it's just like just a superfluous add-on?
You haven't really spent time. You didn't tell me you were spending time like thoroughly examining it.
That's true.
But based on what you have seen it do and what you have seen the other orbs used for, if you had to hazard a guess, you could make me an Arcana check.
Good. I was about to ask, because that is general magical knowledge. Knowledge. Okay. Just concentration. That is not concentration. We want to make sure that is not concentration. Because I need to be careful about this shit. Not concentration. Okay. I will use skill empowerment on myself to gain temporary expertise in Arcana. You guys look at it again. Oh wow! What a great expertise roll. Okay.
That's still 22. Based on your past experience with these orbs and devices similar in nature to these multi-part devices, you would imagine that the orb is probably being used to either power the weapon's effects or greatly enhance the weapon's inherent enchantments.
Okay.
It's probably some sort of catalyst. So even without the orb, the weapon probably will still function, but probably not be anywhere near as impressive. Or if it is as impressive, will probably have a longer cooldown time or something to that effect.
Okay.
As from what you learned at the live stream, these orbs are, given that they are basically each one of them is together remains like all the primordial chaos that was used to shape this reality. They are great power sources, among other things.
Yeah. The orb that's decoratively in the guard would need to be removed first.
I'd advise that if you were going to tamper with the weapon, we do so after solving the current threat, as there is no way of predicting how it might affect the weapon's power. And we need the weapon at its current state.
I don't feel comfortable handing it over to you.
Well, it's not a matter of whether you feel comfortable or not. You can't control it. I can.
She says I can't control it.
So I could take it from you by force if I wanted to. I'm attuned to it now. I can sense it. I know it's with you. And wherever you've hidden it, no matter where you hide it, you won't be able to keep it from me for long. But I'd prefer that you give it to me voluntarily and that we work together on this problem. You extended me an olive branch before. I'm returning it now.
I'll take a bite of his pastry and mull it over.
You want the orb after the fact? Fine.
Look over to cast a glance towards Tibbs and Kenshu.
I think this is not a slap against your power. I mean, you've proven that you're at least on my level. This is the fact that your power is not enough. I will admit that at the time we first started this, my power was not enough. But between myself and the 5 souls of the Coven, we can do it.
I'll more decisively look over at Tibbs. I was swallowing part of the pastry I was eating. Do you have any objections?
I'm gonna look at her and like, since you have your mother back, what's your next goal?
Well, as I've already said, my next goal is to deal with Drakeblood and his cronies, as I was trying to do before. Should be a lot easier now that they've actually outed themselves.
Okay.
And following that, my plan is to use what resources I have to aid in the reconstruction efforts of the city that was damaged by his coup, and then go to the circle to see what I can do about taking these souls out of me and putting them into proper vessels. Or returning them to the live stream so they can actually rest, either or. Preferably, I'd like to bring them back, but...
Kodo will have this look on his face, like he's like... Like it's like... Okay, seriously messed up methods in the beginning. Now lots of good person talk. It's like he's just kind of like...
My methods haven't changed, but now that my targets have exposed themselves, I can actually properly aim. All of this was about getting my mother back and getting at the revenge on the people that killed her. Now they have exposed themselves. Now they are in positions of power. So they are your enemies too, ergo, we can work together. We have a common enemy.
So now you don't have to kill everyone in order to get done.
I'll say the methods were my concern, not our mutual targets.
I was trying to force them out of hiding, yes. Now they are out of hiding.
Yeah, my biggest issue was the fact that you were trying to kill everyone along with him.
And I understand why you had a problem with that. However, at this point, the people I was actually after have revealed themselves. And the people that stood by and let it happen are in a position where they have either realized the errors of their ways or will become indebted to me for saving them, at which point we can work out some kind of amends.
Do those amends involve subjugating them?
I'm not after power, if that's what you're asking.
Are you after blood?
I told you I was after blood from the beginning.
She's after
vengeance. So you're still after revenge on them?
On the people who actually wronged me, yes.
But I must say, I'm not worried about them. I say the people who wronged you will face judgment one way or another. It's the people who you blame for standing around is what I'm worried about.
The people I blame for standing around are getting their comeuppance with this occupation.
So you feel
and
that
they will also get their comeuppance in the permanent shame they will have to suffer when the people they wrongfully accused are the ones responsible for saving their sorry asses.
This sounds familiar.
So I just need to know, Mase, so as long as you are promising me that you have no intention of retaliating or assaulting or doing anything to make these people's lives worse than they already are.
If anything happens to them that makes their lives worse, it is a result of a collateral damage that will result from having to fight a war for this city. It will not be my direct intentional doing.
Because my primary worry had nothing to do with the people who wronged you. My sole focus has always been that you were attempting to take out your anger on the people who were too weak to help you in the first place.
If it was too weak, I wouldn't have cared. It was the fact that they were cheering it that, brought my ire.
People are sheep. They will follow the shepherd. That is an unfortunate.
The sheep
unfortunate
stand
truth.
there cowering and in fear and not doing anything. The sheep are what's around us now. People who are cheering and throwing rotten vegetables and attempting to curse souls for all eternity are not sheep.
Tiz will kind of chuckle. He's like, I know this is going to sound kind of funny coming from me, but I do belong to a church, and I will tell you right now, people can be convinced to cheer for just about anything.
I understand that, but then they must also be responsible for and understand the consequences of being convinced to do that. All I am asking is that they actually suffer consequences for their actions, which, again, they are now doing. This is the karma of their actions. All of this.
Tibbs will kind of like cock his head to the side and like, yeah, you're probably right.
They brought this down upon themselves by supporting Lord Blood and now Mayor Borlock. So, they've served up their own revenge. I don't have to do anything. I just have to, again, shame them by, again, having the people they damned rescue them.
Well,
assuming you're willing to work with me. If not, well, I'll get the sword back somehow and we'll handle this separately, I guess.
Well, I don't must say. I prefer you not be crazy. That must say. You wandering around with extra people talking to you is, quite problematic.
I was never crazy. I was just focused.
Well, either way, after hearing all that, I am hesitantly okay with working with Asame here.
Personally, I don't really see any problem with giving her the sword again. It's not like we can't just take it back.
Well, the sword, even as it is, I imagine is so incredibly powerful. But
yeah, it's incredibly powerful, but she's the one holding it. We can take it back if need be.
No, I agree. Looking over at
once this is over, you can have the damn thing back. Again, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with it, but none of the rest of you can use it properly.
That's what you say. I have thumbs now.
It has nothing to do with thumbs. I have studied this thing for decades. I know it's in as much as anybody can possibly know about it. And again, I now have 6 souls within me that are all very powerful magic users. They can help harness that power.
Well, I must say, Tibbs is going to be like, what does this sword do that others don't? You swing it, you stab people?
It can raise the dead, and with it I can control them.
I could do that too.
No, you can't.
Can't raise the dead?
Not in the numbers we need. And more importantly, all of you are too, forgive me for saying this is not the slight it sounds, pure-hearted to wield the weapon.
And I'll say, Tibbs is going to look over at Kodo. and be like,
Based on my experiences and what I have observed with you, if any of you were to attempt to wield it, it would kill you.
me, I'm quite sure it would. So I'm fairly certain that I can't wield this. There are other members of this party who I do question.
That being said,
Even your uncouth dragonborn couldn't handle it.
Oh, he's not
I
evil.
agree.
He's just mischievous.
that being said, again, I think that we're in a position to be able to do as you ask.
Good. In that case,
If you could do your best to not die, because that would be very, very upsetting if we went through. If I went through all, and I'll say if we all went through all this help to help, all this trouble to help you and get your mother back and give you the happy ending, and you just die randomly.
I agree, that would be terrible. But I've managed to avoid death thus far.
Okay, because I'm not sure that by resurrecting you, the things inside of you come back too.
Actually, if she dies, this was going to go back to the life stream. Not that I'm suggesting we kill you.
Again, that's a bridge I'll come to after I've done some more research. But again, that's a less pressing problem.
That's a fantastic question. You're familiar with this. Are you technically possessed?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Again, I need to do research on this. This is not even close to what I was expecting.
Such things do take time. Does take time, Tibbs. Maybe 100 years or so.
That said, since we all seem to be in agreement, I recommend you go speak to my uncle. He should have a good idea on what the next step should be. If you want to hang on to the sword for the moment, that's fine. Just when the time is right, give it back. It's probably safer in your possession right now than it is mine, since you are able to conceal it better than I can.
Yeah, and who knows if any of the voices in your head are going to tell you to do something crazy.
Oh no, all the voices are in agreement.
I do have a question for after all this, however. Do you want us to send Aurora your way, or do you want us to ward her off?
I will deal with my old party in my own way when I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm still capable of doing a basic sending.
So, to Dumas then.
Yes. And I think I'm going to call it there with you guys in transit to Dumas and her separating from you.
Okay.
You guys are actually far more cooperative than the adventure was expecting you to.
Oh, really? Because there was plenty of doubt in there for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you only asked about a third of the pre-listed questions.
Hey, at least we asked any of the pre-listed questions.
Yeah, which is better than your your previous record.
Wait, how many questions do you usually ask? None. Awesome. It's like you came up with all. It was like there were like 10 pre-listed questions, and you only came out say, and somehow you managed to go with 30 questions, and they're not even on the list.
Yeah. Is it clearly our concern was about her doing evil shit? It's like yes. The enemy of enemy is my friend and all that. But the people, though.
Which is ironically not one of the questions on the pre-generated list. I guess you're just not supposed to give a fuck about the people.
Hey!
The closest you have on here to that is, why should we trust you? And her response is, you have little choice. Do you think I pose a greater threat than these guys?
With the sword, yes, actually.
Like, you've seen my power. Do you want that on your side or their side? That's her. That's the closest we have to that.
I find this funny. It's like
I'm not saying effectively what I felt was I'm like, oh hey, the power of setting up ridiculous amounts of the power of prep time.
Batman.
She's Batman.
But
Yeah, I believe she proved that a long time ago.
yeah, it's like my I find it funny. It's like D&D, and for that matter, every RPG is a role-playing game. So you're supposed to generally kind of think, okay, I'm in a world, other people exist in the form of NPCs. But apparently, this scenario, along with many others, are like, yeah, I know you're supposed to think like that, but fuck the general populace, I guess. You're role-playing in this role-playing game?
I feel like it takes a whole lot of effort for us to actually think like normal players. Because we seem to have a ridiculously difficult time trying to think like normal people.
I don't know if you're trying to think like normal people or just trying to think like the people who wrote these adventures. Because we've had several instances with multiple GMs now where it's like the adventure says this and the players do this and the GM's like, ah.
Yeah, it has been kind of like difficult, but we're making it work.
What was the thing from Feast of Dust?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't like you, I like you. Why do you like you? They're not supposed to ask both of us. So how are we supposed to solve this issue if I don't talk to both sides? Just fuck it, choose a side.
I thought you're not supposed to solve it. You're supposed to pick a side and get in the middle of it.
Context? The fuck is that? Seriously. In the first part, the city was under siege due to her primary influence, and in book 3, they're like, "What? You're not supposed to remember that?"
No, you're not supposed to care about it, I guess. It's like, yeah, the city was under siege. Cool. Now you want that. Now you need that siege to fight the bad guys, don't you? You need my help, don't you? You don't have room to be bitchy.
I just find it so funny because like in book 2 I read it, so I know there's tons of information in there that players will never get. But in all that, it's like, what? Are the players not supposed to care? You clearly put a metric ton of effort into writing this, very extensively. But yet there are certain aspects you're just not giving a shit about.
It's like 57 pages about stuff the players will have no idea is happening. 2 pages about what the players are actually doing.
It's like, you give me information as to, like, the development of the city and the motivation of family lines as how they apply to the present. But yet, I feel like you were told to write a 3-part adventure, but what you really want to do is write a novel. But an editorial mandate said otherwise.
Well, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I will see David tomorrow.
Yep.
Alright. Cool. Let her go.
Yep. Good night.
Right.
Thank you again.
Mm-hmm.